Hello everybody, Thiago here. Finally, I subscribed to Google AI Pro, so it has the same price range as my X Premium Plus account with SuperGrok, so I can finally do some tests. So I'm going to start doing a simple test today. So hopefully this is the successful version of my previous attempt because now um, I have enough quota for on Google AI Pro, and I can finally do the test. I also know where to start checking. So for Google, this is the anti-gravity uh, client, right? So let me even restart here so I can type usage. So just to get back, previously I was checking the web interface, but for anti-gravity limits, you should check here in the command line interface. And so as you can see, I have already used a little bit of my Gemini model, and for anti-gravity, you have two separately weekly quota, one for the Gemini models and another for Claude and GPT models. So for this test, I'm going to use both, but keep in mind that you have those two separated quotas. So we need to be fair. We need like to do some sum um, to know a little bit better um, how it compares against Grok. So yeah, so I'm taking notes here in this spreadsheet, right? So I'm going to start the Gemini with 94.44%, and the GPT. I'm going to use the GPT OSS medium for this test. So my first test is going to be something simple so I can show. So this is the July 2026 test. I'm planning to do more tests over the year. And Grok, I have just started with 0% now used, so it just got refreshed so I can start testing today. I was waiting for this because all my quota was used. And yeah, so now we can basically start testing. I'm going to ask two tasks here, the previous two tasks that I already asked in the previous video, and I'm not even going to check the result. Maybe I can check in another video today. I just want to run those tests, check the numbers, and call it a day. Um, yeah, I'm planning to do more tests, so maybe next month I can do a more detailed test, and also I can review suggestion or something like that. So let's start with Gemini, the Gemini model here. So I'm going to ask to do this first test, and Grok, oh, let me recommend. Okay, Grok, I'm also going to do this, and now we should wait a little bit. Let's see, Gemini, it sometimes it asks for some permissions. Yeah, so today I'm going to run first the Gemini model, take notes, and then check the GPT. I'm going to run two tests and check the quota, and then check the GPT model for the anti-gravity, right? For Grok, it's just one. So yeah, keep in mind that now Grok has a shared quota. So anything that you do in grok.com, it's going to be in this weekly quota. If you create image, it's going to share that quota. Now I see a clear advantage of having the Premium Plus with SuperGrok, because the quota in the x.com is separated from the quota here, so you can use the command line interface, Grok build, and then if you run out from quota but you still want to use chat, Then you can go to x.com and maybe generate images and videos just using the normal quota, the x.com quota separate. Let's see here. So both tests are still running. I think it's going to take some time, but I'm going to record this live anyway, so everybody can see how long it takes. Last time it didn't take that much. Okay, so Grok has already finished, and I'm going to check Grok here. I'm going to refresh this page, and 0% use. This is a problem because if we start with 0% and then we cannot see the decimals here, it's going to be really hard to test. And quota, I'm going to put 100. Yeah, and now max amount is like, okay, this does not make sense. But then, yeah, they should really put some decimals here. Yeah, this is already something that I have not I was not expecting this, but yeah, let's continue with the test. Let's see. Gemini is still running. Okay, let's see. And meanwhile, I'm going to already run the Grok test tool. Let's see how that goes here. Test 2, I think Gemini just finished. So Grok test 2. Okay. Also Gemini finished. That means that we can check the quota if it changed a little bit. 93.80%. Okay. So I put 93.80%. So it was like 1%. Okay. Yeah. Actually, it was less than 1%. Yeah. We can see the correct amount here. This line, yeah. So it was almost like 0.5% actually. Said that, I'm going to run the second test on Gemini as well. So let's go here and let's start the second test here. Okay, and let's see. Okay, Grok has already finished, and let's see how that went. 0% still. Yeah, apparently I should either try harder tests next time and see how that goes with Grok, because apparently, yeah, it's the biggest issue is that let's say that it spent a couple of decimals, and in this interface it's really bad. They should improve. So yeah, you can see that for Grok we are not going to get the exact numbers, unfortunately. But for anti-gravity we can check the numbers here. So it's taking a while. Just remember that this is the Gemini model, and then I'm going to run the test for the GPT. I think after these tests, I'm just going to show the results for the GPT, and yeah, so we do not make a really long video here. Hopefully this one is already finishing. Um, yeah, just keep in mind that for Google AI they have separated quotas for everything, and so if you generate images or go to Gemini chat, they have separated quota. Yeah, it's similar to have X Premium Plus, but if you have only SuperGrok now, I think it's not a good deal, because you have only the SuperGrok quota that is for everything. So you might be careful. I don't know if it's going to be as like if it's not going to use anything, like almost nothing, like we see in those two tests here, but maybe it's not the case. Okay, so anti-gravity second test has been finished. Let's check here the quota, 93.33. Okay, so 93.33, 32, 32, sorry, 93.32. And okay, so this is the end quota. The starting quota was this. We can also check here. Yeah, so it spent the almost the same, exactly the same amount of quota. Yeah, you can see here. This is the weekly, and now I'm going to run the tests with GPT. So let me just show something here. We can go here to model and then select GPT OSS medium. I'm going to run with this model both tests. Yeah, but here's the thing, I need to start a new session to be fair. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here. And so I finished the GPT OSS test for Gemini. Here's the result. Maybe something did not go correctly, so I'm going to repeat this test, but so it consumed a little bit of the quota, like dot 65, right? So I'm going to update the spreadsheet and I'm going to repeat this test. The other models, yes, previously it worked just out of the batch, but this one did not. I'm going to just repeat this test and see if in the next run it finish. If it not, we just consider this. I see it created all the files and folder, but something is wrong. I'm not going to debug today. Yeah, let's see if repeating this now it works. Hello, so I'm back. The project did not work again. Like it looks like this model here is not good for this kind of test. So I'm going to just update the usage here and maybe try other model instead. So the weekly limit 99.01 still good enough. I'm not even going to run the other test for this, but for this model instead I'm going to use another model and see how that goes. So Claude, I think I'm going to try this one, Claude Opus 4.6, and see how that goes. I'm going to put here, let me copy those two lines. Claude Opus syncing. I'm going to put 4.6 as well. 4.6, and yeah, hopefully now it works. So I finished with this amount, and I'm going to run this test, and hopefully we are going to have a model that works for this kind of task. Let's see. Okay, so back, so Claude Opus worked. Apparently it has same quality as the others. Really good. Okay, so that worked. Uh, let's see the usage now. Oh my god, it used yeah, it used quite a chunk here. So 94%, 94.80, 94.80%. Yeah. I'm going to run the second task and see how that goes, but apparently, yeah, it works, but it consumes a lot of credits. We'll see. Okay, I have the final result with Claude Opus. It's pretty similar to what we got with Gemini and Grok last time. Now I'm going to check the usage here. So yeah, so the second test, we ended up with this amount here, 82.15. Okay, 82.15, and yeah, that is basically it. So even taking into account that we have two separate quotas for Gemini, looks like Grok could do those two. I have already shown the results in the previous video for both Gemini. In this video I checked the results for those here. Yeah, so even taking into account the Gemini separate, Grok looks actually way better for doing dev work, at least with their composer 2.5 fast, which is really good. I have not tested with Gemini Flash, but yeah, maybe I can do a test another day. But yeah, that is it. See you. Bye.